Welcome everybody to the 2022 first live NLC test prep. Today we're going to cover Pennsylvania surveying requirements. So if you got any questions, feel free to reply, leave them in the comments below. We'd be glad to answer them for you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, tonight we're going to be covering the Pennsylvania requirements. So even though we're not able to broadcast live from the event, we'll of course, go over what's required in order to become a land surveyor there. Again, does it matter what school I attend for surveying? What are the requirements to sit for the FS exam? After you obtain your surveyor and training certificate, what's the next steps? Your PS and state specific exams for Pennsylvania, taking the state specific exam, and then any questions you guys have. All right. So first off, let's go ahead and start here. So what's required to become a surveyor in Pennsylvania? So again, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Be glad to bring you any videos that you guys like or have interest in. Feel free to leave them in the comments so we can look at those and make a video specifically for you. All right, so there we go. First off, so what school do I attend as a surveyor and does it matter? Yes. So every state has its own requirements, just like the other videos that I've provided before. Uh, whatever state you get licensed in is going to matter. So if you're looking to become licensed in another state, we've covered Hawaii, Texas, California, Florida. Look at some of our other videos and see what's required for there. In the state of Pennsylvania, though, the board does require you to submit your application prior and or pay the fee. So once you get approved by the board, then you can go ahead and sign up for your NCWS exam for the fundamentals of surveying. So again, just make sure that you do contact the board prior to signing up. That is a requirement in the state of Pennsylvania. So meeting the requirements. So a student must complete 2 years of a 4-year surveying curriculum, maintain current enrollment, may be approved by the board, but for the surveyor and training, and I've got it highlighted for you, graduate from an undergrad civil engineering degree from an ABET accredited school with 10 credit hours specific in surveying. The other way to do it is to graduate with an associate's degree program in surveying from an ABET accredited school. Lastly, is 6 years of progressive experience in surveying. So those are 3 different ways in order to meet the requirements to sit for that FS or surveyor and training certificate. All right, moving right along. So after you obtain your surveyor and training certificate, what's next? Well, same thing, gaining additional experience. So you must have approval for the board again from the Pennsylvania board in order to register for the the PS exam. So they're going to go ahead and approve you once you meet all the requirements. The Pennsylvania board will approve you to sit for the next exam, which is your principles and practices. And what are the requirements? So in order to become a professional land surveyor, so you must have your certificate for surveyor and training and achieve a passing score. And then on top of that, 4 years of progressive experience working under the supervision of a professional land surveyor, or 4 years of progressive full-time faculty teaching experience in a surveying curriculum accredited by ABET under the supervision of a professional land surveyor. So either way, basically you need 4 additional years of experience, whether it be in the field or in a classroom setting. But if it's in a classroom setting, again, it has to be from an ABET accredited school. If not, you can work under a professional land surveyor, which you typically currently are or probably are. But those are the requirements to sit for the PS and then for your PLS exam. All right, next, taking the Pennsylvania state exam. So the state exam is a little different than some of the other states. So again, you must be approved by the board before registering for this exam. Now, this exam is taken through Pearson View, so it's a little different. Most states you'll have them twice a year. Pennsylvania allows you to schedule pretty much any time except for major holidays and things like that, which you can see directly from the NCAAS website. So they do recommend on exam day you arrive to the testing center 30 minutes before your scheduled time. This will make sure you have adequate time to complete all necessary sign-in procedures, show them your identification, and so on. So the Pennsylvania state-specific exam, total items is 35 items. Scored is 30. So basically you've got a 30-question test and you've got 120 minutes. So you got 2 hours to complete it. All right, so taking the state-specific exam. So here's the outline of what you'll be tested on. So Pennsylvania professional practices, covering, of course, your laws and acts, professional standards, professional ethics, statute of limitations, statutes, state plane coordinates, research. So then you'll go into unique Pennsylvania legal aspects, minor engineering land development design, stormwater management systems, permitting, roadway design. You can see the list of all the items that are covered on the exam. Now, like I said, when you do show up for the exam, there's certain things you can and cannot bring to the Pennsylvania one. So, two, you have to have two current forms of ID. So, if your driver's license said it expired yesterday, they will not accept that as a proof of um, identification. So, it must not be expired when you go to view it. Optional things to bring is Pennsylvania State is an open book, so any reference materials may be brought into testing center, provided they meet the requirements identified in the reference materials section on the next page. And I'll provide a link for that so you guys can take a look at it. And prohibited. So they do not permit in the Pennsylvania exam any calculators. They do provide the TI-30X, which is on the testing site or on the actual computer, and they will provide that for you to use. Put this in here. All right. So you can see down at the bottom, I've got the link highlighted. I'll put that in the comments later so that you can go ahead and click on it. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions on becoming licensed in the state of Pennsylvania, please feel free to reach out. But remember, state of Pennsylvania is a little bit different. Every state's different as well. So let's go ahead and go back through these again real quick. So what's required to become a professional land surveyor? And what school have you attended? Are you attending? Does it really matter? So the answer is yes. So requirements to sit for the FS exam after you obtain your surveyor and training certificate, taking your PS and state specific exam, and then preparing and taking the state specific exam. So does it matter? Yes, like I said. So in the state of Pennsylvania, they have their own requirements. So you will need to have ABET accredited school in order to sit for your exams. And we'll go into that here in just a minute. So again, before filing for your FS, you must get approval from the Pennsylvania board before registering for the FS, the PS, even their state specific. So all exams you must go through the board and get approval first. And again, meeting the requirements for the FS exam. So to become a surveyor in training, graduate from a civil engineering school that is ABET accredited with 10 credit hours specific to surveying. You can also have undergrad 4-year curriculum. Again, ABET accreditation. Second option, graduate with an associate's degree from a surveying program that is ABET accredited. And lastly, the third option is 6 years of progressive experience in surveying. And you can see all these requirements on the slides that we've got, or feel free to leave a comment or send us an email. We'd be glad to answer anything for you. So, again, after you obtain your surveyor and training certificate, what's next? Experience. Again, just like any other profession and just like with surveyors, you're going to need additional experience. So, once you meet the experience requirements, you're again, like I said, going to apply to the board before sitting for your PS exam. And for the PS exam, two options: 4 years of experience under a professional land surveyor, or 4 years working basically full-time faculty teaching experience at an ABET accredited school. So those are your options. So you're going to need 4 years of additional experience after you have your surveyor and training certificate in order to sit for your FS, then your state-specific exam. All right, so the day of the exam for the Pennsylvania state-specific exam, again, arrive 30 minutes early. The exam has a total of 30 questions, basically, allotting 120 minutes to cover it. You've got the content outline again. So you're going to have your Pennsylvania professional practices, your unique Pennsylvania legal aspects, minor engineering and land development design, and all the categories below are going to be included on there. And again, I will provide these links for you guys so that you can click on them and go directly to the site where I found these. You'll be able to get to the application page, the content outline, so you can see what's on the exam for you. And then lastly, what are the steps for taking the state-specific exam? So what to bring? So like I said, again, you must be approved by the board prior to. After that, it is at a testing center. So it's basically available throughout the entire year. You need to bring 2 forms of ID that are not expired. If it just expired yesterday, it does not count. Optional things to bring. Again, Pennsylvania is an open book, so you can bring reference materials to there. Remember, you only got 2 hours and 30 questions, but you can bring additional resources. What is not allowed or what is prohibited is calculators. So they basically provide you with the TI-30XS. That's the only calculator that is usable in the Pennsylvania exam. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll be glad to answer them for you. Sorry we weren't able to be at the live society event this year, but hopefully we'll make it next year. And just to recap again, just make sure that if you are trying to get licensed in Pennsylvania, priority number 1 is getting board approval before sitting for any exam, FSPS or state specific. All exams must be approved, or in order to take the exam, it must be approved prior to going and scheduling it on NCAAS. Once it's approved, that means you meet the requirements, whether it be with a civil engineering degree or with an associate's in surveying. So again, to take the surveyor in training or the FS exam, you're going to need to be from an ABET accredited school, either in civil engineering with 10 credit hours specific to surveying, or an associate's degree in surveying from an ABET accredited school. So those are your 2 options for schooling. If not, 6 years of progressive experience does count to sit for that first exam. Again, once you guys go and complete your FS exam, make sure that you meet the requirements to sit for your PS exam. What are those requirements again? So it's basically working for 4 years of progressive experience or full years full-time faculty teaching experience from an ABET accredited school. So those are the requirements for you in the state of Pennsylvania if you're looking to become licensed. Again, the Pennsylvania state specific exam is a little bit different as well. It's It's provided through NCEES. You can sign up for it. It's at one of the testing centers like Pearson View, and it's pretty much given all year round. Here's the little exam. Like I said, for the exam, you've got 30 questions. You've got 2 hours to complete it, and the fee is $200. And I'll leave this out here for you guys to take a look again, but for the Pennsylvania exam outline and what is covered. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Be glad to answer them for you. All right, and again, just to reiterate one more time what to bring for this state-specific exam. So if you've already passed your FS and PS, all you need is your state-specific, 2 current forms of ID, not expired. They won't accept it, even if it expired yesterday, won't count. Optional, it is open book, so you can bring reference material into there. Remember, you only have 2 hours for the exam, so just keep that in mind when you're searching through, all your reference material. Lastly, prohibited. You can't bring a calculator in. They will provide you with one, but you have to use the one they provide. And this is all coming directly from Pearson View and for the Pennsylvania state-specific exam. So again, my name is Chris with NLC Test Prep. We appreciate you guys logging on, looking at our material. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you want to see or hear about something different topics-wise, go ahead and just send us an email. You can send it to myself at sales@nlcprep.com. I'll look at it, review it, and then we can schedule it for one of these months coming up if you guys want to hear about a specific topic that we can cover for you. And again, we appreciate everybody signing on. Like and subscribe to our channel, see more content. Definitely, if you want to hear something of your own, let us know about maybe becoming licensed in a specific state that you have, or if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us, let us know. We'd be glad to answer those for you. You can also give us a call at 877-758-6262. You can also go to nlcprep.com. You can schedule a call with us. We can have a one-on-one 15-minute phone call to talk about becoming licensed in your state, questions about schooling. We'd be glad to help you with anything that you've got, preparing for one of the exams, the FSPS or the state specifics that we offer. Again, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd be glad to help. But on that note, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to us. Send me an email, sales@nlcprep.com. And